Welcome to layer number 4. Layer number 4 on our painting represents the bull's eye, the moment when it arrives in your life what you've been working on. You have visualized, envisioned, you have spoken positively, you have taken physical action steps towards manifesting your vision at the canvas and in your life. And in the fourth layer, we are going to zoom in on some details. We're going to finish up some areas and bring in some contrast that really brings this piece to life. Now, every single painting has an ugly stage. And you might have noticed between layer 2 and layer 4 that your painting might not be looking as pretty as you hoped. There might be some details that is not well rounded and some lines that are not as refined as you would like them to be. And I'm here to tell you that is absolutely perfect and normal. So don't stress out if you feel that your painting is ugly, it is not as pretty as you hoped it would be by now. There is a very big false belief around art and the masterful one brush stroke. So many people believe that the masters just drew one brush stroke and there you have it and the painting is done. That is not quite how it works. Even the biggest masters has multiple layers in their paintings, regardless if they work with oil or acrylic or whatever medium. So this just showcases that to you as well, that with each layer you can bring in more refinement, more detail, more clarity until you are happy with the end result that you are painting. So with this final layer of your painting, I also want you to look at your goals metaphorically and your life. As you've taken the action steps, you kept on working with your positive affirmations, you kept being aware of how you use your imagination as the paintbrush of your mind. You would have taken steps to manifest your goals in your life. You would have taken steps to eradicate these rodents, these little thieves of your joy, of your happiness, of your abundance. And you would have kept on hunting them down so that they don't sabotage your happiness and your life. So like the owl, always alert, always aware, always on guard, zoning in on those little things that steal your joy. This is really what the owl is representing. And seeing in the dark, being able to absolutely be aware of those moments that you give your power away to circumstances, to people, to challenges and difficulties. That is what this is all about. Right, so in my fourth layer, I'm going to just refresh my paints and you will see I'm going to go into all of these zones again and just refine my line, clarify what I'm doing. I'm going to bring in the iris of the owl because right now it looks like he's wearing sunglasses, and make some final changes at the canvas that are some of the small details that I don't like, that I'm going to change up. For example, the mouth completely disappeared with the blue, so I'm going to bring in some reds there and just refine that spaces and areas in my owl that I feel needs some attention. So I'm going to pause the video, and when I start it again, I'm not going to be doing a lot of talking. I'm going to fast forward for you because this painting session might take a little bit longer and I don't want you to spend 5 hours looking at every brush stroke. So I'm going to just do that quickly for you so we can wrap this up. If this is where you are at your painting, remember to take a photograph, share it in the comment below this video so that I can see what you guys have been up to. If you have any questions up until now, please type it in the chat and I will receive a notification and then I can get back to you and answer your questions. And I will see you at the end of this layer 4 when we bring in some final details that I will walk you through. So here we go. Now it is time for some final details. And this is where I like to play with white and black to really just make everything pop. So I will use white where I wish to see a little bit of a light reflect, and I will use black to just define the outline very lightly. So this is what we are going to do right now. So I've got my white and I've got a fine liner. This is like a number 3, and I am improving the fluidity of my paint quite a bit by adding some water to my paint so that it flows very easily off the brush. And I just want to create some highlights here and there to speak of the moonlight that is reflecting off some of the surfaces. And I've already done some of these moments. That helps to define some of these areas. I'm going to add some light white feathers here in the center of its brow. And really at this stage you are listening to your painting to tell you what it needs. And you can always change anything that you don't like. So I'm going to switch to my black. And just define some of these little details, like the claws of the owl. Maybe just that shadow line between each claw. And anything on the opposite of the moonlight that would cast a little bit of the shadow. And just some of the feather textures, very gesturally. Playfully. I'm going to add that little bit of eyebrows to my owl. I think it makes him look very intelligent, and I'm going to carefully redefine the iris. So that it is nice and black. It is rather difficult to paint and talk and think at the same time because we are not in our left brain, we are in our right brain. It's actually a good sign It's a good sign. That means we are doing it right. Just playfully bringing some definition. If you find that your black lines aren't flowing, just improve the fluidity by adding some water. And you'll see me support my hand sometimes on the canvas or placing my pinky on an aspect of the painting that's dry so that I can draw a better line. That's nice. Now we are coming to the final details of this beautiful I Can See in the Dark owl painting. And for this part of the painting you will need a fluid white paint, acrylic paint. This I'm just using a Heritage Craft paint because it's a fluid. It's more of a liquid. But you can use your titanium white heavy body paint and dilute it with water like I do with the black liner in the beginning of this painting. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your brush, but you're going to use the back side of your paintbrush to make little dots that will represent the stars in the night sky. So you basically just dip the tip of the back of your brush, and then you will just dab random stars in the background. And I like to use one load of paint a few times because as you offload you will see the dots are getting smaller and smaller. What you don't want is very predictable marks that you repeat over and over. You want to have some randomness about it. Have a few ones together in a cluster of stars so that it doesn't just look like some random white spot on your canvas that you forgot to paint. Don't forget to add a few stars here beneath where the tail is as well, because we're looking up into the trees. With the owl sitting in front of the moon. And when you've added enough stars, we can also add a little bit of a light reflection dollop in the iris that really brings the eye to life. I think I'm going to add a final little light reflection on top of my branch. Like so. Moonlight reflecting on this leaf and branch. There we go. So we've come to the completion of this beautiful painting of our owl, and I can see in the dark. So I just wanted to make a suggestion. Sometimes in paintings like this, I like to just add that message that this owl has brought me, or this painting, whatever it was, to the painting, to always remember what the message is, and also to sign it. So I've decided to use a blue here, and I'm just going to use my fine liner, and I'm just going to write here on the branch very lightly in the shadows. I can see in the dark. And sign your painting in a color that is represented in the painting, so that it doesn't stand out too much. Because I feel that really just claims this authentic understanding and knowledge of what you have just created by signing it and owning it and making it yours. I can see in the dark. As we wrap up this series and workshop, I really hope that you were able to begin to see in the darkness of your own life. I hope you've discovered and that you have remembered that you have the ability through awareness to see in this darkness and to take hold of these rodents and to snatch them up so that they don't steal your joy and happiness, abundance and well-being any longer. I hope that this painting that you've painted reminds you, wherever you go in your life, that you have this ability to take hold of your life, to take back your power and to be in control. I hope that you've had a lot of fun and that you've experienced the joy of painting at the canvas. I hope that you have discovered the power of the canvas and how it brings forward your attitudes, limiting beliefs, and aha moments, and that it really is a two-way conversation with your own soul. And I really hope that you will begin your creative practice of implementing a little bit of time every day to just simply play at the canvas. In the description below of this video, I will provide some links to future workshop offerings that I have in person and online, and you will also be able to find all my social media platforms where we can stay in touch with each other. I'm really looking forward to see a photograph of your completed owl image. Please post it in a comment below this video or share it with me on our Facebook groups. You've got all the links in the description. I'm so excited to see how you have learned to see in the dark. Thank you for painting with me. Thank you for spending time with me. And I'm looking forward to seeing you at a canvas real soon. Bye bye for now.